Welcome back to Hitting Your Stride. I hope all of my listeners are doing well. I am here with you alone today. Today is just going to be a one-on-one with me and all of you. And part of the reason for that is, I don't know, the last few weeks I have been, as I've been going around to different barns and massaging, I have been coming across a lot of really tired people. And I think that is because everybody is so happy to be back in the show ring and so happy to be out and seeing more of other people that I think everybody's just a little tired. We haven't done this in a while. And there's a lot of energy that goes out into preparing for horse shows, being at the horse shows. And I know I've come across a few riders and trainers that are like, oh my goodness, I've forgotten how to pack my tack box, etc. So given the general state of how tired everybody is, and we're about halfway through, let's say, the show season. So I thought we could chat maybe a little bit about some energy hacking ideas. And some of them might be pretty obvious, so that's good, but we can always listen to the obvious again and again because it kind of helps let it sink in. And some of them, you might be thinking, I've never really thought of that. So first off, let's talk about one of the obvious energy hacking things that we can do. So we're talking about stuff that can help increase our energy, things that, make us feel brighter and more alert and ready to tackle all of that stuff going on in our day. So the first one, and this is an obvious one, would be sleep. The more sleep you have, the more energy you have. And I want you to think of it like this. The sleep that you prepare for at the end of one day, and hopefully the sleep you get through that night, basically dictates the kind of energy you are going to have the next day. And this is something, that I think is pretty challenging for a lot of people. I know I can deal with issues with sleep, going to bed at a decent time, but man, not falling asleep, soon enough kind of thing. And everybody's a little different. I myself function best on about 7.5, maybe 8 hours of sleep. And I think that, other people, you might hear them say, all I need is 5 hours sleep max, and I'm fine. But you know what? That only goes so far, and eventually it will catch up to you. Sometimes I feel like, people might think that sleep is an inconvenience, but I don't think we get enough of it, actually, and good quality sleep. So I thought I'd bring up some stuff that maybe you, the listeners, could take away with you a little bit and maybe implement and practice for yourselves. I mean, keep in mind that if you want an incredible life, you need to get good sleep. So much goes on during your sleep. Your body is repairing itself. Your brain is detoxifying itself and cleansing itself and, getting ready for the next day. So, like I said, on average, people need about 7 hours of sleep. And I can really tell the difference personally for myself if I've had only 6.5 versus a full 8. And it all starts with your habits of how you prepare for that sleep. Honestly, you could they say about starting about 2 to 2.5 hours before bed. And we've all heard this. It's the issue of screen time with everything tech, whether it be your iPad, your phone, the TV, your computer, whatever it is. We need to unplug. The strain that looking at these devices causes to our eyeballs, and then obviously our brains, is a lot. And we are constantly looking at it during the day. So our body and our brains need to shut down and start that process at least 2 hours before bed. The other thing that is really important is the optimal sleep temperature, the temperature in your bedroom that allows for the best sleep. And that's about 67 to 69 degrees Fahrenheit, or in Celsius, it's about 19 to 20 degrees Celsius. And I know I love sleeping in a cool room. Even with the air conditioning on and stuff in this hotter weather, I still don't seem to get as a good a sleep as I would like, but fall, wintertime, window open, love a cold room while I'm sleeping. So that is something that kind of helps your body just relax, and yours just helps you really just feel relaxed and releasing any tension that you may have, because it allows you to, sleep with a blanket on if necessary, etc. Another thing that affects our sleep is how much light is in the room. So again, and I know, I will admit, we have a TV in our bedroom, but we rarely watch it. And it's just because I don't like having those kind of devices in the room. I don't really like having my phone beside my bed. I turn it face down. I turn notifications off, do not disturb. But I'm very sensitive to those kind of lights in the room. So perhaps if you are too, try putting your phone out in another room. Also, too, especially it's difficult if you use it as an alarm clock, which pretty much 90% of us do now anyway, if not all of us. I've actually thought of going back to a good old-fashioned alarm clock to use that, so I don't need to have my phone by the bed. But also, too, like the light in the room from outside. If you live in an area that is really well lit by streetlights, etc., light coming through the blinds might be an issue. So blackout curtains are amazing. And if you can't get blackout curtains, even one of those sleep masks helps to keep the light out. And the darkness in the room, and I find this fascinating, actually helps optimize your melatonin levels, which helps with your circadian rhythms, which is your 24-hour clock. So your brain produces this melatonin, which encourages better sleep when the room is at its darkest. So I know melatonin is a supplement that a lot of people take to help induce sleep. But yeah, blackout curtains are great. We didn't have blackout curtains for a while, and once they went up, it was like, oh my goodness, it made a total difference. I slept longer, I slept deeper. So yes, definitely something to consider. So I mean, how do you wind down your day? If you kind of have to plan this, oftentimes we just kind of take sleep as the last thing on our list for the day, and like, oh, I'll get around to it. And you've got this and that to do. And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh man, I got to get to bed. But you haven't prepared yourself for sleep. You haven't taken the time to slow down, decompress, unplug, and just get your body ready for sleep. So keep that in mind, that if you want to have the energy that you need in a day to do everything that you're doing, maybe take sleep a little bit more seriously, put it at the top of your priority list, because it is going to help you be the best person that you can be. All right, the next one, which I think we're all guilty of at times, and I know lately with everything on my plate, the whole concept of stopping task switching. All right, so this is like multitasking on steroids. And so many of us are in our situations where we are suffering from numerous areas of multitasking at numerous levels. So yes, I have 3 businesses. They're all going really, really well. I love all of them. And it's like I have to aim to get something done in every area every day. So the idea that I'm starting on one task and then something pops up in the other business is something that happens all the time. And over the last 6 to 8 months, I've really learned to focus on trying to stop doing that and actually plan my time better. And I got to tell you, with again, here we go, the phone and our schedules all have our attention very divided. We are bombarded by constant notifications about stuff, quite honestly, we don't really need to know about. So yeah, like this leads to being overwhelmed, and it leads to being exhausted because our brains are constantly being pulled in different directions, and not even about the same topic. They're pulled in different directions about numerous topics. For instance, you're at a horse show. You've got how many horses showing in the day? You've got how many different classes or divisions that are being entered into. And there are clients that are to be coached. There's your own riding schedule. There's all of this involved. And then there's even the horses at the home farm, and, who's looking after them. And, it's really hard to, have a focus and try to be good at one thing, let alone everything that we have to do, if we're constantly being interrupted by, like I said, these notifications. And a lot of stuff, basically, it comes down to the notifications of things that don't really mean much. They're not super important about what's going on Facebook or the new things found on Pinterest, right? So I've actually deleted a lot of my notifications from the apps that I may tune into once in a while. And I found a huge relief from that. This is a really hard one to manage. And like I've said, I know exactly what I'm saying here, and I'm pretty sure we've all tried to do it. It takes work. It takes energy to not only do what we want to do, but to help develop these new habits that would give us more time and more energy. So just trying to focus on one thing at a time. Try to simplify things for yourself. Remove the stuff that you don't need popping up at you all of the time. Allowing yourself to be in the zone of one thing. When it comes down to, how are you using your day? How are you planning ahead? And I know that when you're at the horse shows and anything dealing with horses, anything can happen at any time. So you kind of have to be able to be ready for those moments. But it doesn't mean that we can't still try to prepare ourselves as best we can. And, really cutting down on all of this attention grabbing, focus splitting stuff going on around us. Actually, we're just being kinder to ourselves and to our brain. And so just consider that for a moment or two, and just step back, take a look at what you've got going on in your day and what it is that you could just group together better and actually plan during your day that, okay, from like 1 to 2 p.m., I'm going to work on this, or Tuesday evening, I'm going to be, doing such and such activity and project planning for whatever it is that you are doing. So just keep that in mind. Take a little, rein yourself in a little bit, reduce some of those notifications, and see how you can, up your focus a little bit and reduce your task splitting. All right. The other thing, so I'm just going to mention these two things kind of quickly because I'm kind of excited. I've got a really cool interview coming up in the month of August that we will be talking about eating well and exercise. And this interview that I'm going to have is a great individual who has some amazing experience in training people, training equestrians, as well as very, very knowledgeable in food and nutrition. So obviously, yes, if you want energy, you need to eat, and you need to eat well. All right. So this will be covered in an episode in August. And ultimately, it comes down to managing blood sugar. We've all heard this, 2 p.m. I get that crash. So then what does somebody do? They have a chocolate bar, but we know that only goes so far. So it's about preparation. It's about a little bit of knowledge goes a long way in this area. And like I said, preparation, planning. So the eating and the eating well is very important. And then obviously moving, some form of exercise to help change your state. And I get it. I know that in the world that we live in the horse showing world, everybody is always moving all day long. And I've heard it. I've heard myself say it over the years, and I've heard so many other people say, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm moving all day long. What else can I do? And I get it. I totally get it. The key is to move your body in a different way than you are doing all day long. Try a different activity, and it doesn't have to be huge, energy output. It could be just stretching. It could be going for a gentle, mindful walk at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be, doing a high energy aerobic class or a CrossFit class at the end of a long day. So yes, just being aware of that and understanding that, the way you move your body is going to help dictate as well the kind of energy that you have. And it always appreciates doing something different than what you're doing all day. And I know riders put out so much energy in an effort into everything that they're doing, both mentally and physically. So it can be very draining, and horse show days can be long and all consuming. So if it's something that doesn't work on a horse show day, then set yourself up for a day off or something, in a lighter day. Go for a walk in the morning and sort of set your brain and your body doing something different than it normally does. And like I said, we'll touch more on this in the next episode coming up. All right, this next one is kind of fun. And it took me a while to agree with myself that I was going to do this, but cold showers they are amazing for increasing your energy. Now, I know you're like, oh my God, why would I want to do that? But they are so beneficial for your circulation, both your blood circulation and your lymphatic circulation. Cold showers help release endorphins, they increase metabolism, and they support your immune system. And I can hear y'all now, but I don't like it. And I could say, well, it's good for you, so you'll get used to it. I've been doing these cold showers. Now, ideally too, for anybody who showers in the morning, all right, you can get up, you can have your shower, and end it with a cold shower. Now, for those of you that may shower in the evening, and that is what I do, after being out in the barn all day and stuff, or, working out or exercising, I like to come home and have a nice shower before I go to bed. Either way, whether you're a morning shower or an evening one, you can still end with this cold shower. So like I said, somebody suggested it to me and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I really want to do this, but I tried it. I gently worked my way into it, and it's amazing. I do it every time I end my shower with about 2 minutes to 30 seconds. So you can start slow. You can do a 30-second, immersion under the shower head. Or if you have a bathtub, that's something I'd like to work up to, is actually sitting in the bathtub for, how long. I'd love an immersion tub and actually try it with some ice. I know some people might think I'm crazy, but it totally revitalizes you. It's great for your skin, your pores, your hair. It helps close your pores, and it helps to reduce inflammation. So yeah, at the end of the shower, you just turn the water to the cold, and you start with your face. And if you've washed your hair, you just let it run over your hair. It's great for your hair. And just let the water run over you, and, let the shower hit on some, like, your joints, your knees, your elbows, your shoulders that are a little sore from the day, and just let your body cool down. It's a really great feeling. And I know, because I'm an evening shower, I thought, well, why would I want to stand under cold water? As that would, I'd almost think it would like overstimulate me so that I might have a hard time going to sleep, but it doesn't. I actually find it very relaxing and feels really, really good. So, like I said, start with your face and breathe and let it go over your hair, your sore joints, and just focus, meditate, and feel the cold revitalizing you. So if any of you try it out there, shoot me a message somewhere on social media and let me know how much you like it, because I think it's pretty good for you. All right. Now, the last 2 points that I want to bring up are more of sort of a mental, emotional approach to trying to increase your energy and having better energy in your day, throughout your day. And the first one is all about identity. I know it's like after one really hard day, you go to bed and those mornings, you may have slept like a log and you're thinking, whew, I went to bed at 9:30 and I woke up at like 5. That's still a reasonable length of sleep. And you get up and you're like, man, I'm still exhausted. Why am I so tired? I'm tired all the time. Well, that's become part of your identity. This is where we can take our mindset and we can shift what we're thinking and how that translates into what we're feeling every single day. So wake up every morning reminding yourself that you are a person with energy. You may feel silly talking to yourself. You may feel like you're talking to a brick wall. It's like, Trace, how am I supposed to tell myself that when I'm so tired? Well, it's that whole thing that if you're constantly telling yourself you're tired, you are reinforcing yourself that you're tired. So it's all about self-talk. And this is something that you have to work on. This mindset thing isn't something where you just wake up and go, whew, this is awesome. I have so much energy today. No, it does take time. It's the way that we habitually think. Habits are not just what we physically do in a day, like the habit of doing a cold shower every day. Habits are the way we think, the way we habitually think, what runs through our mind, what we let run through our mind. And so often it gets to the point where we don't even know it's happened. And all of a sudden we have this identity of somebody who's constantly tired and exhausted. So try to reframe that for yourself. And again, work on it gently. Say it to yourself in the morning, when you get out of bed, when your feet hit the floor, and you stand firmly, you take a stretch and you go, I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to have great energy through this day. And just walk that forward into your day. A lot of our own energy issues are mental, like they're mentally induced, and they start in our head. It's a belief system, and it's an identity that we get. So just try playing with your self-talk. And, telling yourself a different story, shall we say. And it's okay to not be successful when you're first trying this. But like I said, it's a habitual thing. It's a habitual process. It's your self-talk. So work on telling yourself that you have more energy and that, you're feeling good about something. Talk yourself up. And to be excited about something, and it will change. You will find yourself having more energy. The last thing I just wanted to touch on here was the concept of, well, it's a concept, I guess, in this conversation, but it's also a value when we talk about our own value system. And one of them is authenticity. Being inauthentic to who you are is the most exhausting thing there is. So basically, that's participating in any activity that is not in alignment with you and who you are. So it's being inauthentic to you. And there is so much of that going on. And ultimately, it's a huge waste of your time. It's a waste of all of our time when we partake in activities that aren't really who we are. If you don't love what you do, or you find yourself sitting with or hanging out with a bunch of people that don't really share the same ideas or dreams or, topics of discussion and enjoy those things that you do. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of maybe a bit of a touchy subject, because I guess maybe I'm suggesting that you get real and honest with yourself. And social media sometimes makes this authentic aspect of our lives a little challenging, because everybody's, we see what everybody puts on, all of the Instagrams and Facebooks and all the social media. And it's like, wow, they've got such a great life. They're doing such amazing things. And you know what? Everybody's at the same place at some point in time. And, just being authentic to who you are, what you believe in, doing what you love, be aware of the people you have in your circle and what and who you follow on social media, so that when you are scrolling through and you've got, 10 minutes of time where you think, you know what, I think I just need to chill out a little bit and let's just see what people are up to on Facebook, that you're going to get the chance to view the best people that connect with you, that you're viewing things that, light your fire a little bit, that you're interested in, that might inspire you. So, be more aware of that. And when you are true to what you love, you will naturally have more energy, and you will be in alignment with what it is that you're doing. So those are some pointers that I would think that I would like to, if I said to somebody, it's like, man, I'm tired. Like, I need more energy. How can I do this? So there's different aspects. There's the physical aspect, then there's the mental, emotional part of it all. And ultimately, it all comes down to being more aware of you in a day. So the rat race is a crazy one. We all know that. And being more aware of how you're using your time, what you're putting your energy into, the people that you're hanging around with, your support system, how you are managing your day-to-day tasks that we all think that are just kind of like the end tasks of the day. That's like, oh yeah, man, I finally have to get to bed. Well, the sleep is what's best for you. So yes, it's an internal process, being aware. It's pausing and taking a moment and checking yourself. And it's breaking up those little habitual things that you do every day that you might not be aware of. So be aware of these habits and work on changing your behavior around these areas so that you can have such a positive effect on your energy. And, just to sort of support all of you out there, I deal with this every single day. Some days are better than others. I can look at I do this journaling in the morning and at night. And I fill out my morning part of the journal with, all right, what might trip me up today? How can I prepare for that if I do get tripped up? Who can I send a note of appreciation to? What am I going to be excited about today? What would be a really good day if I could say at the end of it that I've done this? All right. So that's all in the morning. And then in the evening, it's like, what did I really appreciate today? How did I handle such and such? Like, was there something today that I did that was a higher, like a bit of an excellence type of approach to what I want to achieve? And, it comes down to just taking those moments and maybe sitting with yourself and analyzing the stuff that you are doing. I feel like, energy isn't just about taking the right supplement. And it really isn't just about getting enough sleep. It's about the quality of things that we do in a day. So with that, my friends, please know that I am on this journey with you. And I really appreciate all of your support in this podcast. I am here to support you. I am very grateful for all the feedback and all the listenership that Hitting Your Stride has, and all the support for Equestrian Elements Life Coaching. This whole journey has been so much fun. And I would just like to say that, if anybody finds any of what I am doing inspiring or, uplifting, informative, by all means, I would really appreciate if you could share a podcast. Like I said, I love the feedback. So any hints or ideas, anything that I've said that resonates with you, please, reach out, leave me a message. I would love to interact and connect with you. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope these have been helpful hints. I will be back in a couple of weeks. And like I said, just trust the whole cold shower situation. You will definitely be revitalized.